EDU-KV, let's come together to learn.
Hello friends, today we shall discuss about the third chapter of class 12th biology, that is human reproduction. In this chapter, or in this video, you will be able to learn about the cleavage, parturition and lactation. So friends, let's take all these points one by one. First one is the cleavage. Cleavage means, as you know, the zygote undergoes successive mitotic divisions called cleavage as it moves through the isthmus of fallopian tube towards the uterus, and the daughter cells are called as blastomeres. As you know that the zygote from isthmus to uterus undergoes mitotic division, and the first cleavage takes place in first 36 hours. Initially, zygote will form 2 to 4 cell stage, 4 to 8 cell stage, 8 to 16 cell stage, and these all cells, individual cells, are known as blastomeres. Embryo with 8 to 16 blastomers are known as morula, and the morula division continues and it will form later on hollow ball, and this is known as blastocyst. The blastomeres in blastocyst arranged in two layer, and outer layer is known as trophoblast and the inner layer is known as inner cell mass. Okay, now the trophoblast cells attach to the endometrium. As the trophoblast cells are the outer membrane, so it attached with the endometrium and it helps in the implantation and development of placenta. Now the inner cell mass gets differentiated into the embryo. Ultimately, inner cell mass will get converted into the embryo, and the complete attachment of blastocyst to the uterine endometrium is known as implantation. Now the second point which comes to our mind about this, the very beautiful diagram of this cleavage, showing cleavage. First one is the egg, single cell. After that, fertilization, it will form the zygote. This is egg and this one is the sperm. After fertilization, the zygote is formed. In the zygote, initially division will take place. It is the 4 cell stage. Here 16, maybe 32 cell stage. Here the cavity is formed and the formation of blastocyst, and it descends down the uterus and it will enters or embedded into the lining of the uterus, and the rest of the process will follow on. Now, as you know that the uterus or womb and vagina, there in human body there is a single uterus present in the lower abdomen region, and it is also known as womb, and it is a hollow inverted pear shaped attached to pelvic wall by the ligaments. Inside the uterus, fertilized ovum grows and develops it into the embryo. Now opens into the vagina through narrow cervix called the cervical canal, and this cervical canal along with vagina, it is also known as birth canal, and the wall of the uterus has 3 layers of tissues. First one is the perimetrium, second one is the myometrium, and the third one is the endometrium. Perimetrium is the external most thin membranous structure. Myometrium is the middle thick layer of smooth muscles, strong contraction during delivery, and the third one is the endometrium. It is the inner glandular layer, lines uterine cavity, and it helps in the cyclic changes during menstrual cycle. Okay, now after that, this is the clear-cut diagram of the human fetus which grows within the uterus. This structure is the uterus. This is the uterus. Okay, it is single in human being, and then here is the placental villi, then cavity of uterus, yolk cell, embryo, and it is the plug of mucus in cervix and the umbilical cord through which it derives its nutrition from the mother's body. Now, later phase of the pregnancy, there is one hormone named as relaxin secreted by the ovary. As you know, HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, HPL, prolactin hormone, human prolactin hormone, and relaxin. These are the enzymes, they are only hormones, releases only during pregnancy. Now other hormones like estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, prolactin, thyroxine, it increases several fold in maternal blood during pregnancy. Now the hormones, they are supporting fetal growth, metabolic changes in mother and maintenance of pregnancy. After implantation, inner cell mass differentiates and outer ectoderm, inner endoderm and middle mesoderm soon appears, and that's why they are termed as triploblastic animals. On the basis of these layers, germ layers, ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm, group of organisms or animals can be divided into triploblastic or diploblastic. As inner cell mass contains certain cells, that is stem cells, and they have the potential to give rise to all tissues and organs, and the pregnancy will last about 9 months divided into 3 trimesters. First trimester is the end of the 3rd month, second trimester end of 6th month, third trimester end of the 9 months. Okay, now apart from this one, this is the first month embryo heart formation will takes place, first month, and the first sign is the listening heart sound through stethoscope. Second month, limbs and digits will develop, and the end of 12 weeks, that means first trimester, major organ system develop, limbs, external genital organ will develop. Now the first movement and hair on the head during 5th month, that means at the end of second last month of that second trimester. Then end of the 24 week, that is second trimester, body covered with fine hair, eyelids separate, eyelashes formed, and the end of 9 month, fetus fully developed and ready for the delivery. Apart from this one, there is one term is known as parturition. Parturition means it is the period of pregnancy is known as the gestation, and it's about 9 months in human, and the delivery of fetus is called as parturition. Parturition is the physical process through which the delivery of fetus will takes place, and it occurs by the contraction of uterine myometrium. As I have already told you, myometrium, that is middle layer, and the signal of the parturition is originated from the fully developed fetus and the placenta, and it induces mild contraction of the uterus called the fetal ejection reflex. This question was asked in previous year's board exams, that from where the signal for parturition will originated. Now the signal for parturition is originated from the fully developed fetus and the placenta. Okay, and the hormones, that means adrenal gland secreted from fetus, diffuses to maternal blood and is stimulated oxytocin hormone. Now oxytocin causes forceful contraction of the myometrium, that is labor pain, and it stimulates the secretion of oxytocin. Then stimulatory reflex between uterine contraction and oxytocin secretion continues, inducing strong contraction, pushes the fetus by dilated cervix, that means birth canal, facilitated by relaxin parturition. After delivery, the placenta is also expelled out of the uterus. Okay, now the point is lactation. Lactation means mammary gland of female undergo differentiation and produce milk towards the end of the pregnancy, and that process is known as lactation. The mammary gland actually starts producing milk towards the end of the pregnancy, but milk produced during initial days of lactation is known as the colostrum, which is highly nutritious, and it contains several antibodies which provide immunity, passive and resistance to the newborn baby. It is the yellow dark milk, and the milk production is controlled by the lactotrophic or prolactin hormone secreted by pituitary, and the breastfeeding during the initial period of infant growth is recommended for bringing up the healthy baby. Now these lactation, as you know, it corresponds for certain period of time, and then this is the diagram of mature follicle. This is the secondary oocyte, and it is the second mature Graafian follicle. After the maturation of the Graafian follicle, this secondary oocyte will release and the ovulation will takes place. I hope all of you understood all the points. Thank you very much. Please subscribe, like and share the channel.